Hi, I'm Gary and welcome back to Stark's Warehouse. As you can see, we've got another clay sculpt here that I am currently working on. This was meant for somebody for a convention a couple of months ago, but eventually they didn't end up needing it, so it got put on the back burner, but I'm just starting back onto it now. And maybe it take a little bit to guess, but this is actually going to be a Magneto helmet from X-Men. That's going to be the classic Magneto from the original comics rather than the new movie Magneto. Like I say, I've kind of added all of the clay on there, getting the shape of the roundness of the helmet itself, using the tools that I have down here. We'll get to those a little bit later on as well. Now, the clay that I'm using is Chevron NSP Soft. I did melt it down in a bread pan to make it go on to the sculpt a lot easier and faster, as if I was putting it on when it was at room temperature. So let's go ahead and start on this and see if we can get some more detailed sculpt in it and get it looking a little bit more like Magneto. Okay, so after a little bit of work, we have actually got the basic shape of the helmet down. As you can see here, it's a quick rough shape. The edges aren't smooth yet. The basics of sculpting is to actually get the shape that you want before trying to smooth anything down. As I've done that in the past, I've smoothed everything down, smooth the sides and things down, then wanted to add facial details, and then ended up grabbing the sculpt to do this, do all the details, and then have to re-smooth everything down again. So the basics is just to get the shape, kind of the shape you want, add all the details needed, and then afterwards, then you can go ahead and smooth it all down. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this inside out here so we can have the actual opening for the faceplate. And then we should be able to go ahead and start smoothing it down with the details that are going to be on top for the little emblem. We can do that separately, and that can go on after it's been molded and casted. Obviously with the details that will be in that, it'd be very difficult to mold and cast because I'm just making a plastic cast, I'm not doing silicon. So it'd be very difficult, so I'm going to do that separately. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Okay, there we are. Now we have the faceplate section cut out on the front of the helmet. Now all that's got left to do is making sure that all the edges are completely smooth and nice and round. Don't want any dips or dives or lumps or clumps in it. I need to make sure it looks perfectly round and smooth. There's still a lot of work to do, smoothing off the edges as well, and making sure everything's perfect. I once heard a great tip: the longer you take working on the clay sculpt, the less time you're going to spend after working on the cast, which is easier to work on the clay than it is to work on the cast afterwards by adding Bondo or body filler and having to sand it down, add more, wait for it to dry. It's easier to work on this with the clay. So the more time you spend on this, the better. Saying that also, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because there will still be a lot of work either way to do on the cast afterwards. But for now, that's pretty much it. So in the next video I will be just smoothing everything down, making sure it's completely nice, ready for casting and molding and casting, and then I will be starting the process of making the mold. Like I say, I'm not too bothered if this fits my head or not. I'm not going to be wearing it. It's just going to be more of a display piece for my collection, really, and for my portfolio. So as long as it looks nice and I can get the edges smooth and I can get it on a nice display, that's all that I'm bothered about, really. So yeah, like I say, that's that for now. The next video we'll be starting the molding process. Well, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.